Just wait for it.
Yeah.
I can't see you.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. It's because I'm in.
Keep your hands still. That's it. Bang
Should I
them.
sprinkle it?
Yeah, sprinkle them on there and put some more muck on it. That's
Can I
it.
have some, please?
Hold your hands still. Yeah, sprinkle them in.
We make, and then it will still keep growing. So
Is that right? What Pudgy just said, that the tomato will rot and then the seeds will grow?
No.
I just burst
I hope it
out.
works.
I just bursted out with that. I didn't know I could do that.
Where did you see that then? How do you know that?
No, just getting it good. There's still seeds in it. I would have thought you could do it with most of them because you've got seeds.
Well, if it grows, we need a dead sunny window for it.
The plants on the table.
Yeah, give him all the water, Pudge, and then I'll find windowsills for him till I'm in the greenhouse. You brushing up, Pink?
Oh
Come on, Daddy.
no. Leaves on top.
I've just 1 minute, Pudge, then we'll cut it. I've heard that when you've got a seed potato, instead of putting the whole thing in the ground, if you can cut it in half or in quarters, as long as there's a root or an eye on each segment, and it'll grow and you'll get twice as many potatoes than you would just planting them whole. So I'm going to try it with this one potato, see if it works, and cut it in half. The mum says when you put slices of potato in the composter, they start sprouting, so it might work. Pudgy's going to cut it in half for me. Careful your fingers. Lay down, look.
There.
And I'm not well enough to plant it yet, so the Pudge and the husband are going to plant it for me.
There.
Yeah, that's it. Careful your fingers.
I want it down.
Hang on, Pink. Beanie's still minding his. That's Pudge's with a flower and that's Beanie's with a gnome. I'm getting worn out now when I sit down, even though I've done nothing.
No, Jack likes me,
Well, that's good then. Good your friends all get on together. Oh, do it from front, the step. Mind your knees, make sure your knee don't press your toe. Mind your fingers. We'll do them. We'll do potatoes. Beavers and Cubs emailed through some details of some badges that the kids can do at home while we're in isolation. So I haven't got a printer, so I couldn't print any of it off. So I wrote down the different badges they can do at home, or some of them, and what's required to do it. And then I made him these little booklets, like Gabriel's doing, Pudge is doing artist, book reader, chef, because he likes cooking, doesn't he? Digital citizen, which is computers and things. The husband will help him with that. Because I ain't got a printer. I've done my best. I'm hoping once they decorate and stuff, it'll look a bit more professional. But I emailed Steve, who's a Beaver leader, and said I've had to do this. I ain't got a printer, and he says it should be fine. He's already started the artist one, look. And Beanie, he's doing book reader, faith, digital system, which is again computers. The husband will help him, and gardener, because the things he's going to be helping me grow food anyway over the next 2 months. So I said to him, might as well get your badge for it, because you're beginning to do gardening anyway. He started a bit of the gardening one, because we've been writing down some of the things we've been doing, and he started the book reader one. Look, Sunday school also emailed me from some stuff through, but I couldn't even copy it because it was stuff you had to download, and you had to download an app to download the thing, and I don't know. So what I'm doing with Sunday school is I've got me St Michael all colour book of Bible stories that Carol gave me. Carol I work with. I think it used to be her daughter's. And what I'm going to do to keep their hand in with Sunday school, I'm going to read them a Bible story or two on a Sunday. Like last Sunday we did the creation and Adam and Eve. And then I'm going to get them both to draw a picture while I'm reading of how they interpret it. This is Beanie's. That's God. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And they're the two trees. The one with the forbidden fruit on and the other one. And this is Pudge Potts, my oldest, Gabriel. There's God, look. Adam and Eve, Garden of Eden. They've got a little house. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the pictures in. And then as we go through, when we're done, I'll be able to look through and see what we did and what they drew for each thing. Like, then next Sunday I'm going to do Cain and Abel. But I think on Easter Sunday, normally they have a big Easter egg hunt at the church, which won't be happening this year, so I'm going to have to do something for Easter. And to help us keep track of the days, I wrote Beaver's work on a Tuesday, because that's the day they would have gone to Beaver's if we was going out. And I wrote Sunday school on Sunday. Everything else is that 30-day Lego challenge. When we've done it, I wipe it off and put the new Lego challenges on. The Lego challenges are optional. If they want to do it, they can. If they don't have to. Pudge has been doing it more often than not. Beanie does it if he feels like it. And Bod just makes train tracks because Bod loves trains. Bod's my 4-year-old. Yeah. If you follow my Facebook page, Home Educating the Mad Lads, you'll know about this already. And I went into more detail about it on there. Like the lowest point and stuff like that. Which I'm not going to do now because it'll upset me. But I never know for sure if I have had COVID-19, and I'm not a doctor, so don't follow what we did or what I'm saying the symptoms for me were, because I think it affects everybody differently. But I think I've had it. At the end of my last video I was saying I was feeling rough, and then I quite quickly went downhill. Today's the 10th day. The worst days for me was the 3rd, 4th and 5th day, where I was struggling to breathe. Not to the point where I had to go to hospital, but I was struggling to breathe. My husband had to help me breathe sometimes, you know, hold my hand and with me to help me breathe. And I was sitting outside a lot of the time. Luckily it was nice weather. I was sitting outside a lot of the time in 2 jumpers. I've still got 2 jumpers on now, look, but I had 2 jumpers on, a dressing gown, a blanket, and I was still freezing, and the only place I could breathe properly was outside. My husband, you'll know about this also if you look at my Facebook page, but my husband took my phone off me because whenever I looked at some of the scaremongering on there or pictures of kids with coronavirus and all sorts, it made my breathing a lot worse. And as soon as he put me on a social media news blackout, I wasn't panicking anymore, so that helped my breathing. Once I was able to breathe, probably about the beginning of the 6th day, end of the 5th day, beginning of the 6th day, my chest just really hurt and I had to keep catching my breath and I was exhausted. But and it slowly got better. Like today's day 10 and I feel alright so far. But yesterday, day 9, I woke up feeling like I've been hit by a bus. And then I was fine all day, except every now and again I had to catch my breath. But then at bedtime I just crashed and burned and that was it. I felt really bad, so I've still got to rest for a while, I think. We don't know, but we think, because some people hardly get any symptoms, some people don't get any symptoms, sometimes they get hardly any symptoms, some people get bad symptoms, some people have to go to hospital, some people worse than hospital, if you get me. We now think my husband might have had it before me, because there were 27 people sent home from his work. One of those people had been to New York for the weekend, come back, was sent home ill. And there was a couple, we didn't click on at the time what it might have been, but there was a couple of days where we had a really bad cold and he just didn't want to get up, and it wasn't like him. So we think maybe he had it first and then gave it me. Now, there's 2 possibilities here. Either Me losing the baby in January kept me out of that vulnerable bracket and potentially saved my life, or potentially saved me from having to go to hospital, or I got it worse than the husband because my immunity was down, because it was only a few weeks ago when I lost the baby and had that dead bad womb infection. It's one of them things you'll never know. I'm just frightened of the kids getting it now. They reckon kids fight it really well, but I'm just frightened of them getting it. But it's day 10. On day 14, I'm considered not contagious anymore. I can go out. But I read on the internet, so I don't know if it's true or not, but I read on the internet that you're most contagious before your symptoms start. And if that's the case, there's nothing I can do about it now. But we have been taking every measure to stop the kids getting it. When I was really ill and I was just sat in the garden unable to do anything, I remember once going inside and trying to get some Lego out of the Lego tub, just going like that, and it just totally took the breath out of me. I could not do it. That's how bad I was. But like I say, I mustn't moan. I'm incredibly lucky. Incredibly lucky I didn't have to go to hospital. Incredibly lucky it wasn't worse than. But anywho, when I was really bad, I don't know if you could see it, my mum lent me this book, James Herriot's Yorkshire, and I haven't read it yet, but when I was ill, there's lots of pictures of fields, wide open spaces, fresh air, countryside, and just sitting and looking at the pictures really helped me, helped calm me and calm my breathing and that. Anyway, that's why I'm not getting into it, because it upsets me. Anyway, what was I going to say? The other thing I wanted to say was, I have a friend, she doesn't live around here, but I've got a friend, and she's got a 8-year-old, and you know how the schools are shut now. The school keep emailing her work for the 8-year-old, and they're emailing her loads and loads and loads of work, and then they're emailing her again saying, you've got 2 days to finish this assignment, you've got a day to finish this assignment, stuff like that. And she's been worrying about the whole situation anyway, with the virus and everything, and this is just added pressure on her. And I said to her, just get done what you can get done, it doesn't matter. These schools set work for 30 plus pupils. It'll be from every ability. The teacher will use their own initiative to determine how much a kid gets done by their ability. Yeah, don't worry about it. When all this is done, when all this is over, nobody's going to care about how much you got done. Nobody's going to care. But she's still whittling, she's still worrying. And I've seen on Facebook, I've been trying not to go on it, but sometimes you have to go on it to find out what's going on, don't you? I've seen on Facebook a lot of other people complaining about how much the school's set them and stuff. So I messaged my friend who lives in our village and asked her if they were setting her 2 boys a lot of work from the school up here. And I can't read it because my phone's downstairs, but she screenshotted the email off the school, and the school up here had pretty much said the children, this is an unprecedented time. It's hard for the adults being out of normal routine. It's hard for the children being out of normal routine. If your child tantrums or has a meltdown or gets worried, this is normal. With all the upheaval, don't worry about it. Try and keep a basic level of school, do for the older ones, what older I mean, like, 10. Try and do an English and maths every day, RE once a week, the French class once a week. And for the little ones, just do these few worksheets and stuff. But it's more important you connect as a family, keep everybody feeling safe and happy, read books together, go for walks, bake cakes, make this a safe time for them, and don't worry about them falling behind, because when this is all over, all the kids are in the same boat. All the kids have all been took out of school or all been took out of the new routine. So when it all comes back to normal, they're all in the same situation. And I was really impressed that the school had sent that. And the mother that it was sent to said that she's been a lot more laid back since she was sent that reassuring email. And it's a pity not all schools are taking that stance, because that is how it is. And I'm mentioning it on here because I think that applies to homeschooled kids as well. You're out of your routine, don't worry about getting it done. And from somebody who's potentially had it, it really doesn't matter about your kids' grammar at the minute. It happens about keeping them safe and being together. and trying to make the best of it, positive time if you can. And they're still learning all the time. I mean, today I've been trying to keep up their reading, although I haven't read a lot to them, because there was a night where I picked up a book to read to them and I couldn't do it. It broke my heart. I didn't have the breath. I'm getting better now to read to them. But so the kids have read to me loads. Pudge, my oldest, reading's not his favourite, so he's been reading the normal amount to me. But Bean, normally, like, I'd be like, oh, you only read me one chapter because we've got to get Daddy ready for work, or only read me one chapter because we've got to go to Beavers and stuff like that. But because we're not doing anything, and we've had all the time in the world, he's just flown with his reading, and he read me 3 chapters the other day, and he's only 7. Sorry about the noise, bin lorry's coming. But we're also doing lots of life